All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list for May 2nd, 2019, and it's going to be an exciting one, so I hope you guys are ready. We have a lot of earnings still, so why I'm highlighting this right off the bat, because tomorrow after hours, there is a lot of plays that aren't your big names, but some of these could still move, and there is a key thing you could take advantage of with both earnings and options. So we're going to go over the earnings plays, I'm going to go over the watch list, and then at the end, since we covered it last video, I'm going to cover the Apple play. So if you guys were on stream today, you saw that. How many? I'm already down so far. I'm down 5,420 push-ups, not dollars. So we made a little bet, but we'll see. I'm going to go over how these plays played out. It was really fun to watch all day today. We controlled the risk a lot better than I expected to, so it's going to be fun to see. And then we had a bunch of companies report after hours today. AMD wasn't one of them, but one of them was Qualcomm. So let's get right into this. There is a lot to cover. Oh, and I'm going to go over some specific options. I have specific options to watch. I'm going to go over the McDonald's that I purchased today too. I think that's going to be a cool swing trade. And yeah, so let's get into it. But most importantly, before I get started, you must like the video. But no, that's not as important as posting your watch list. You got to post that below right now in the comments. Post stocks you're watching. If you're not watching anything, what are you watching? Or if you're not trading anything, what are you watching next week? Put some swing trades out there. What do you got in mind? And then also, we have the Fed tomorrow too. I probably should have started with that because that is also going to be important. You saw what the market did today. It was pretty wild and crazy. So even seeing what happened with the market, we had Qualcomm earnings after hours. They're down 3% right now, and then Square it looks like it really got pummeled, a 5% move. Yeah, 5% move, and then Apple moved 5%, but this was post-earnings. They didn't report after hours. I think there was a few other companies after hours, but we didn't really care as much, and today we're fixated a lot on Apple. So coming into tomorrow now, again, I'm getting straight to the watch list plays for you guys, for all the traders out there. Watch Apple. It's going to be interesting. The fact it broke 212 surprised me. That was a really, really key point. We saw it after hours. We saw it pre-market. I had it struggled in the morning, but the reason why I even held this morning on my Apple play, it looked strong right off the bat, even with the market going down, which was a good sign. So the market pulled everything down, and you'll see a lot of the plays we looked at all across the board today. Even one of them is going to be UPS. Things went straight up and then came straight down. This was a broader market pull. So we're going to see the reaction with the Fed, and if you're wondering my expectations, it could continue for a day or two, but I'm kind of expecting a bounce. Even I think what we got was pretty bullish from the Fed. I made a pretty good explanation I posted here earlier. So it all depends, though, how markets digest this. So let's see what happens. But that being said, watch those earnings plays. Again, we're going to really keep our eye on there. But now, even with the Fed in mind, I said right away, I think I already have them here, Wells Fargo. Watch Wells Fargo, watch Bank of America. I was grabbing Bank. I have a Bank of America straddle. I was grabbing calls and puts all week, and then that's for this week. But I got a next week Wells Fargo call, so look out for those. And I think it was next week or this week. I'll have to double check. But watch out for the banks because there was an inverse. It depends on both the excess on interest reserves or what the Fed's going to do. But I'm sure we'll get a gap or some sort of clear definition of how the banks digest that overnight. But watch those. Those could be big movers. But again, Square reported, so even a sympathy to Square is PayPal, and I like them a lot too, so watch them. They got hit by it even though they had good earnings, so watch how they go from here. I think, did PayPal report? I think it was eBay that had good earnings, so no, I think they reported, but keep an eye out for PayPal. They're reacting, and they've been up a lot, and they haven't really moved. That's why I'm saying they could be a good play, and again, you guys, tomorrow is Thursday. It's a dangerous day for the weekly options. There is going to be opportunity, and I'm working on a guide for the stream alerts to explain it, to use the stream alerts the best. And then I even thought, it's going to benefit even if you don't have the stream alerts. One thing you guys got to understand, because I was realizing, even when I make a trade on here, I'm even with these, I'm looking to swing some of these, or I'm at least getting time. I have something, you'll hear what it is, but you want to get it where you're kind of swing trading and day trading at the same time, or just setting yourself up for those opportunities. But be very, very smart with these. You could take one more week out. You don't have to play on the next week. And at the same time, play really, really small. Don't go big. You got to have a strategy of scaling in, because you will. I had somebody who was like, well, I bought it and then it went down right away. And then it came back up and then it came down and it wasn't there. And I said, well, yeah, that's how option works. He was kind of bummed out about it. But what I'm trying to say, because he was like, it went back down in value. You could have bought like 50. scale in. The weeklies, they fluctuate really heavy in value. Go further on the time frame. And again, paper trade too. These are all I want you guys to watch these and learn from them. You will pick something up from here and be able to develop it safely. But again, even if you've been watching, we've been trading some weeklies because the earnings catalyst, but I'm telling you, a shift is, I'm already doing it. I'm buying Junes and going far out. You have to know what tools to use at the right time. So be careful of the weeklies. And again, if tomorrow we get a lot of up and down volatility, but it ends up in the same place, that's not going to benefit you option traders. So watch out for that. But watch those finance stocks. Those are going to be a really big key tomorrow. I like those. Watch Qualcomm, but now watch AMD. AMD had decent earnings. It was kind of a mixed bag because they raised guidance and they beat EPS, but I think the guidance is just, it's all over the place, but it was fairly good, but they dropped. So watch them, though. See if they pick up. NVIDIA also, they moved. And again, all of these stocks moved on Qualcomm's earnings. Even at the close of market, just NVIDIA was dropping prior. So watch all those. See how those play out. But those could be very, very good. Even Micron, don't let that one slip under the radar. But these are all related to the earnings, even Apple, and kind of what's going on with the market there. And I think those are kind of the main ones. Now let's get to the options because this now encompasses the next side of the market, the value stocks. I like McDonald's, and these are contracts I want to watch. And I'm already getting a week out because this week is weird. Even I was on stream as the market was coming down during the Fed. I said, just wait a little. We're going to get opportunity. And if we're not seeing that opportunity develop, we don't have to take it. But watch McDonald's. I like the next week. And here's a big thing I highlight. The IV, it's 12%. It's low volatility, implied volatility. So you could even go out another, week, and those will probably be even cheap too. So I'm going to scale in here, but I got the 197.50s, and I think I paid like $52. They dropped that close, but I like them a lot. I think they could do a lot. And again, the IV is so low. You could even get time on this, but it's low because people are they're not expecting much. This is the post earnings. It kind of gapped down there. So why I'm saying this is the first contract, because chances up McDonald's is a slow mover. It's not going to just bounce up. It could bounce again, and that'll be beneficial. But if you want to play this and understand even I've just seen the contracts a lot and understanding the underlying stock, this thing is it stays in trend. So we'll have to see what happens. So be careful because you could get burned on these McDonald's trying to time it. But let's take a look. But I like those contracts. Anything really staying around the money. And again, and here's one thing too. This was related to the stream alerts. If averaging down, because if I buy these, let's say, and these are for next week, and let's say by Friday they drop another 80%, and we're like, do we buy on Friday? Or let's say come Monday open, they're still down 80%. Does that mean you buy the same contract? No, because if these are down 80%, that means these 195s are probably going to be down 80% too. So instead of buying these for super cheap and getting a bunch of contracts to average down, use the same amount of money you wanted to, or same $50, and go buy the contract closer to the money if you're playing the same day, or you go and push it out and get another date. That's the strategy we did with Boeing to make sure we had our hand in the cookie jar at every corner. So watch those contracts. Watch McDonald's in general. Starbucks is another sympathy play to that. Again, kind of the restaurant stocks, but you got those. And then what's the next one? I think I already have it up here. UVXY. I got some of these for next week, and they're already up 50%. But now I'm bringing this up as a play when the market goes down because depending on how earnings are, I wanted to play puts today when it was coming down, but the spreads were crazy. A lot of these stocks just had earnings and a lot of other stuff anticipated and baked into there. There wasn't really good opportunities or expectations that they would move too much. So I actually went with the index. So I didn't get SPY puts. I think that, UVXY is like the Amazon of SPY puts and calls, but mainly for SPY puts. It's just on steroids. It has bigger spreads, and it's easier to lose and faster to make money, faster to lose, not easier. That's a bad choice of words because it's actually a lot more difficult. But I got the next week's. They already went up 50%. But what I'm saying is UVXY capitulates. So if there is fear and we do get a bounce, wait for this thing to come down and take advantage of these. If it's that really, or whenever you see if the contract prices are expensive. So stay on stream. If you're going to miss the stream, have the stream alerts. But if anything happens, you need to, you could come to these and come back to them at another time. But if the contracts are too expensive, what I mean by that is if you see individual names have higher premiums and there's not really good plays, that's why I said ask on stream. That's what I determined today, and that's why I went for them. I went with the banks today, and then I got the UVXY because the banks were actually moving based off the Fed, but when all the other stocks were dropping because of the Fed, the premiums were a lot harder. So that's why I went to the index. But then, because again, all the stocks were moving down a little bit, but no one stock was moving down a lot. That's where you go for the index. And that hopefully makes you guys understand when to play these and when to keep these on watch. So that's why I'm telling you, watch in this event too. And then that's why the banks would be on the reverse, the ones that have the catalyst, the only catalyst to go up and not get dragged down little by little. So keep your eye out for that. And then lastly is the UPS. And again, this is another swing. And like I said, though, I even today, because yesterday, these were up. We bought these at the beginning of the week. They dropped the next week, 108s. We bought them. They shot up to 60 cents. We got them at like 20 or 30 cents, I think. They shot up to 60. They came down today to 20, came right back up to 50, and now they're closing here at, all sorts of craziness. That is, again, low volatility. UPS still has kind of the earnings hangover and reason to move, but it looks good overall. But now, if I am going to keep playing this, I'm going to look to average down differently. But also, this is one that you can day trade as well as hold. That's why I'm getting time on it, because as these moves show, it could pop up out of nowhere and you could still be able to make a quick gain in the day. But by getting time, this play is still in play. We got it. Some people thought it was dead middle of the day today, only for it to shoot up. And those are how some of those big gains work. But that's just how options are working in nature. So again, that's why be small with your plays, scale in. That's why even though we got the first one $30, I'm going to wait. That's why I'm not buying 5 contracts on the first order, and then we wait, and then we maneuver with time, and then we see, do we need more time? Is this when we expect it? Whenever we are seeing the moves and what we need, then you start to really strike on there. So be good with those. Watch those. Some little swings in there. There is still going to be a lot of day trade moves. We need to see what happens pre-market, and now that leads us to the earnings. So for everybody out there, be prepared. Get ready for the Apple play too. But pre-market, we're going to get – these are – and again, if I miss anything – that's why you guys got to post your watch list, but these are some of the ones I'm highlighting that I think could move. But this earnings is kind of very important tomorrow because, again, there's a lot of obscure names or still big names, but not really ones we focus on too much. But there's still companies you either know or they're big and they could have movements. But especially for today, what I noticed on the list after hours, a lot of these companies are growth stories or companies at really pivotal points where earnings and expectations, if those change drastically or even get affected by what's going on, those could have some pretty big effects. So watch in the morning, Wayfair, Under Armour, Cigna, and Strata Systems. I like Strata. This is going to be crazy spreads. It usually moves crazy or won't move at all, but keep your eye out there. Cigna, watch the healthcare. And, I think I forgot to even tell you, that's another one on the watch list. Watch UNH. So watch with the healthcare stocks. They dropped today. See if that could pull down the market a little bit more, but again, as all these healthcare stocks start reporting, even the bigger ones, and the numbers come out, the market's going to be able to digest everything and start moving in one direction without getting pulled by the anticipation and premium. So watch healthcare. I still have that on watch. And then Under Armour too, that's retail. And Wayfair, that's crazy spread. So push that to the wall. What I mean by that, wait till even Friday, tomorrow, maybe today at the end of the day. But wait, you have to play those cheap, but it's crazy spread. So be careful there. After hours, you're going to get Activision, Guild, United Steel, Shake Shack, Planet Fitness, Expedia, Skyworks, Data, First Solar, Monster, CBS, Herbalife, GoDaddy, and Live Nation. All of these companies are very interesting. I know you guys like the gaming. Am I going to play all of them? Probably not. If anything, Activision, I don't really like playing the gaming stocks. I might even look at EA for a sympathy on the weeklies because there won't be as much premium. But a lot of people like to play these. A lot of you guys trading are gamers. You all flock to the gaming stocks and jack up the premium. Usually the earnings price isn't there, but we'll go over this pre-market and we'll do the pricing. So if you want to play Activision, let me know below or come on the stream. Guild, we've been looking at it. Pharma, it has the potential to move. It has been operating weird, but I'm not going to play that earnings. United Steel could be good. I think you guys actually saw Helios, so don't forget Helios. That moved a lot. That could be signaling a lot. And even with what the Fed said with inflation dropping lower, that means prices have gone up. Commodities, oil, so that could be helping steel. Even gold went up. So there's that Shake Shack restaurant. And now, again, all of these are, like I'm saying, they're kind of at pivotal spots. could move a lot, but it doesn't have to. But watch United Steel. This is where they start to get interesting, like Shaq and Planet Fitness. Recent IPOs in the last 5 years, but they're still, at pivotal points. One's the restaurant. We'll see how that works. Shake Shack, the spreads are crazy. We'll have to see. And then Planet Fitness as well. They did really, really good, and they're killing it. So maybe something to the downside, or if they do continue to surprise great growth and expectations, investors might like it, and they have been flocking to it. So watch out for that. But then now Expedia, I really like this one, and you could play sympathies even through C-Trip, CTRP, or even Booking. And actually, Booking even made a move today. This could honestly be a good play for Thursday and Friday. You could play Expedia through Booking, and it could be a little bit wild there. So that was a big move. If you guys, maybe we do a YOLO on this. I don't know. I might play Booking tomorrow. That looks actually real nice with some Expedia lining up. We'll take a look though, but it's going to be crazy. Skyworks, that's a chip maker, kind of related to Apple at one point, not as much, but look at them. Data's a big one that moves randomly. It doesn't have to move. Again, kind of like Stratus System and some of the other obscure names if you've been watching the watch list. But watch all these. First Solar, I might play Data if I could get it cheap out of the money and depending on the expectations. First Solar is a cheaper stock. It actually could make some big moves, though. That's why I like it. Monster, too. They're coming off big growth. Again, is it going to continue or not? CBS and Herbalife, not as much, but then GoDaddy's just like Planet Fitness and even Shake Shack, but they've been doing very, very well. They've skyrocketed a lot. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these IPOs that went up a lot, like Planet Fitness, GoDaddy, and Shake Shack, not as much though, but the ones that have gone up a lot, if anything changes, they could have surprise downside. So, but even in general, they could move a lot as their companies are really changing and investors are factoring in their longevity and investments. Then there's Live Nation. I don't really like that one, but it did make a pop. It can surprise there, but keep your eye out for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the earnings. We've gone over the watch list. Now the final part, my friends, the Apple play. So I won't bore you to death with this. The best part is we're still going to be trading this coming into tomorrow. So make sure you guys are on stream. We're live 30 minutes before open. You've probably been brainwashed hearing that enough. But how did this play out? We lost $2,000 today, and it made sense. I was down $3,000 on the position yesterday, about $3,400. I'm down now $5,400 total. I lost more money on here. I was down $6,600 on this at one point, I think. And I was down a lot on these. But remember, these are the two that I sold the premium where the play all started. So I lost more money on there. But surprisingly, I was never down more than about like 30%. These lost because they're puts, so I lost, a couple $100 there, or $600. But now all of these went up. These were my insurance, and they surprisingly they only closed up 68. That's because the market closed, but they were all up at 150 at one point. My plan was to sell, and I didn't follow through, but that's also because of the market. I like the time. I was in the money, but that's the problem. So that's my next worry with this player. What I'm watching out for is to make sure my insurance does not become ineffective. So you guys are going to have to see how that plays. It's going to get very, very interesting. But the weeklies, and you see, even though the stock went up, the weeklies dropped those May 4th right here. And a lot of people had questions, but I'm still in the play. The key was I was really able to manage the risk. It's saying, 30% loss on here. But that's, at $5,000, multiply that by 3, that 15,000 loss on the upside. So if I'm factoring in, 200-300%, even worst case, my max loss is like 40, 50 grand in here, but we're managing it. It's still looking good in the play, but my next play from here, I'm going to probably let these are kind of going to be the wash. I don't care. They still have time. It's just a really weird point we're at. But the plan is I want to take profits on these, and then after I take profits on these, I'm still going to keep holding these. I'm not, even if it keeps going up. So I need to find that sweet spot, and that's what I'm waiting for, because even after I take the insurance premium from here, I'm probably going to average down on this one again, because again, I still have time for this to drop. So better watch out with them push-ups, boys. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. I'll see you on stream. You better get ready. You better get in the game. Better be there in the chat, man. Y'all been killing it. I'll see you in the morning. Let's go.